Before we start making picks, I have a little caveat that I know that you're not going to mind me bringing up. Is we had a commenter say that, wow, you guys are pretty shit at picks. Which, sir, you are wrong. I can't remember the name of the commenter. Doesn't matter. They don't have the grace to have their name mentioned. But you are just dead wrong because, first off, my man Dave here is the leader in the clubhouse. He is 85, 32, and 1, Dave. That is a total of, we have had 118 football games. I'm not counting Thursday night because that's in week 9. So out of that 118 games, Dave, your percentage for right picks is at a 72. 72 is pretty fucking good. It's pretty fucking good. And I am at 79, 38, and 1. So with me, let's see, 79, 118. I'm a little lower. I'm at 66, round upwards 67%. I'm a little lower, but like I looked at, I'm like, Dave's got 85 right picks out of 118. Like, we're not terrible at picks this year compared to, like I said, I still got the picks we had from 2 years ago when Mark and I used to do it, and through week 6 or something, I was 64, 41, and 2, and that I was not good at picks that year. We are much better now. But Dave, what we're going to do is go through every game, talk about it a little bit, make some picks. The first game on our docket, the Bears going to Tennessee to play the Titans. Dave, this is one Vegas has the Titans as 6.5-point favorites. What you got for this one?
I mean, I'm picking the Bears because I have to.
Super Bowl,
the Titans
Super Bears.
will win this game now.
Yeah, that's where
I'm at. Like it's a loyalty thing. If you look at my picks, you could take off 2 losses by saying, "Well, Dave picked the Bears, even though he knew the Bears was going to lose." Doesn't matter. But I got to pick the Bears because they're the Bears.
But here's the thing, though. With this game, the interesting thing about it is I've got the Titans winning too. I think they win.
Yeah, they should win. They're the better team. They're well-rounded. They have a good. They have a good rushing game, which leads to ball possession. With Derrick Henry, they're going to have control of the ball. I think they're probably going to have about 37, 38 minutes of possession on the Bears, who have been struggling to figure out how to use our backfield in David Montgomery. And God forbid fucking Patterson touches the ball 6 times a game. I will lose my shit again on Sunday.
Dave, I'm telling you, I feel sorry for the Bears defense because they're good, but they're not going to look good after this one because the offense ain't going to.
Our run stopper. Yeah. He was not playing this year. It's all it is. Like, you look at our front, and we are missing our best run stopper. We're missing
talking about Jenkins.
Yep, boy, and he is out. So, like, what do you want us to do? We're doing what we can. Our front office decided that we just having additional help anywhere else. We'll just add another guy in the pass rush game. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah. But like, you didn't address the problem of run stopping up the gut. We get gashed. It's just it's what happens. Derrick Henry's going to put a number on us. They're going to hold the ball a lot of the game. We're going to have a miracle late drive and try to get in the fucking game. And Nick is going to try to keep his job because that's what Nick does.
Yeah.
But I'm picking the Bears, but I think the Titans will win.
Yeah, I think Titans win. The Bears offense kind of shoots itself in the foot. Defense can't hold up. Fucking Titans with the win. They get back on the win streak. These are teams that 2 weeks ago, Dave, had wins and have lost 2
They were leading the NFL.
Yeah. Well, one was undefeated. The Bears were really good. We were all like, ooh, they're sus.
The 5-1 team in football.
Yep. You said the worst 5-1 team in football. But yeah, Titans with the win. The next one, Dave, I almost didn't know who to pick for this one. Broncos Falcons. And here's the thing. Falcons are the 4-point favorite. They're at home. Here's the reason why I didn't know who to pick. Is because the Falcons, since firing Bill O'Brien, this is how their game, or not Bill O'Brien, Dan Quinn. I'm thinking of the Texans.
Thank you.
Dan Quinn is gone. They blew out the Vikings. Then they lose to the Lions because Todd Gurley did not know how to stop at the goal line. That was a close game.
And apparently he was told in the huddle to not go in.
Yep.
Which makes it so much worse.
They have a close game against the Lions. They lose. They have I'm going to say close game against the Panthers because early on that Thursday night football game was close, and then they came out to that lead. And then you just have the Broncos where they have had a miraculous win against the Chargers. They had a miraculous win against the Patriots no one saw happening. Like, the way they're playing, I should be picking the Broncos, but I'm going with the Falcons. Like,
Falcons are a better team. Broncos are a fucking wild card, though, man. Like, Drew Lock out there, I love them coming into the season. Obviously, the injury knocked him off of his game. So now that he's come back, it's just like, I don't know what expectations to set for this team. Their defense has been so hit and miss. Like, I guess timely is the word to describe them. Yeah. Like, in the games they've won, they've been able to bend but don't break at the right moments of the game, which is critical. And that's what you need. But I don't have faith in that offense enough to put them over the top because I think the Falcons can move the ball on anyone. Yeah. They have weapons. They go 4 deep on that offense, no problem. So I'm going to go with Matt Ryan, and I'm going to try not to think that, like, Drew Lock's got another miracle run in him again this week.
Yeah, that was one to where I'm like, ugh, I don't know if that's my head.
It lines up. That's the problem. We talked about the Chargers losing leads. Yeah. The Falcons are the OG of losing a lead in the game. Yeah. So, like, that's got to put a little fear right here in your pick.
Yeah, that's one that I'm not confident in. And even, like, the next one. So, Seahawks Bills. Seahawks are a 3-point favorite. Yeah. I know we're both picking the Seahawks, Dave. Like,
yes,
in this one,
the better team.
Here's the question I want to ask to you, though, and this is the question that most people are asking is, will the Bills offense wake up here? And if it's not here, will they ever wake up again? Because, like, the Bills haven't played good in 2 weeks.
This is their best opportunity to play well. The Seahawks team has a horrid defense. This team will go as far as Russell Wilson can throw, just perfect throws. Like, that's all it is. It's, can Russell Wilson will this team to win? Because their defense just doesn't have enough. You know, his career has been a story of 2 tales. It's when Russell Wilson had to be the smart quarterback and their defense carried them to a championship. And now when Russell Wilson is perhaps the MVP of the league and is carrying his defense to a championship run. Like, that is how good this team is. They have that upside. DK Metcalf, the scariest mother around right now as far as wide receivers go. And they still have Tyler Lockett. They still have options at tight end. Like, the run game to me is kind of a mixed mash of question marks. I don't play fantasy with a running scheme. Just don't. You go Tyler Lockett, you go Russell Wilson, and you go DK Metcalf, and you don't touch anybody else.
Well, funny you bring that up. You say don't play with their run scheme fantasy. We got a fantasy question from ISO where he says, quick waiver wire scoop, DJ Dallas, who had 8 points in Seattle last week, does he pick him up and drop Damian Harris? You're saying no, keep Harris?
I like Harris this week. Damian Harris has solidified his spot. He was playing last week hurt, and he still was able to fight through shit. So I like Harris as a steady guy to get you points. I don't know what to expect out of DJ Dallas. Like, he looked impressive, but at the same time,
he's not
enough for me. I'm not going to take a flyer on him. I think it was 1 week wonder.
Do we know about Chris Carson? Do we know his status for sure? Let's see. Okay, Adam Schefter 3 hours ago. Chris Carson is out for Sunday's game at Buffalo, so he is not going to be playing in that one. So Carson's out yet again, but, like, at the same time, like, Carlos, like, I would keep Harris. Harris is going up against the Jets. We're going to get the Patriots Jets.
That's the other thing. You didn't mention the matchup. Yeah. Like, that is a ideal matchup for Damian Harris, and that is a team that is relying on the run game to win them everything. So, like, Damian Harris big time play.
He didn't have a bad week last week. 16 points. I would keep Harris. That's what I would do.
I would start Harris if he was available. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't bite on DJ Harris. But yeah, both of us going with the Seahawks in case you might have missed that pick. Dave, the next one. This is a game. Yet again, this was one of the few where
I flipped on this one.
I didn't know who to pick at first, and I almost picked the Ravens. So we got Ravens Colts. And this game is an even in Vegas. One of the 2 games I know for sure that we're getting a even in. This one's tricky to me because, like, the reason why is the Colts have had their struggles, but, like, last week we saw them put up points on the Lions. We've seen them put up points on the Bengals, but those teams aren't great defenses. Where, like,
the Colts is the great defense.
is the Ravens defense going to be able to contain the Colts while giving Lamar Jackson options? Because Lamar Jackson also, I read you off the games either before the show or in the Lamar of like who they've beaten. They've beaten the bad teams. They've lost to the only two good teams that they've played. So like for me, I'm going with the Colts, but I almost want to go with the Ravens, but I'm going with the Colts in the end.
I want to go with the Ravens because I think Philip Rivers will make a mistake.
Yeah.
That's the thing. My brain is telling me Philip Rivers is going to create a turnover that will cost you the game. But the Colts defense is good. Naheem Hines out there being used in different ways. They're getting the ball in his hands. He's able to create in space. I like this Colts team is like they're good, but I feel like they're sneaky good, if you know what I mean. Like I'm not confident in them, but they just keep winning week in, week out, and I think you have to respect that. So with the Ravens' struggles as of late, it's totally worthwhile to question that. And I think that, again, the Colts, if they play a clean game, 100% will win this game. Yeah. But do you trust Philip Rivers to not turn the ball over too many times to that Ravens defense?
Well,
so should we just both flip? Are we just a handshake flip here?
No, I'd stick with the Colts.
So you stick with Colts. Okay.
Yeah,
so I'm
gonna stick with the Colts. Are you flipping? Are you going Ravens?
No, I'm just asking you. I was we both just said if Philip Rivers can't play a clean game, he won't win the game, and you said he won't. So I feel like picking the Ravens.
How I'm looking at this in the end is I could see Philip Rivers making a mistake. I could see the run game being not dismal, but not as good as it was last week for the Colts. I could see that. Yeah, but at the same time, I am willing to go in on this one and go Colts with the win. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And just walk away from it knowing I'm
even
wrong.
Vegas doesn't have a favorite in this game. So, I think, again, we kind of ran you through everything, why we landed at where we're at, but it wouldn't be surprised to see it go either way.
The other question I had, and I meant to ask this during the Lamar segment, but I didn't, is one of the fantasy questions people are asking about the Ravens, and you brought up Hollywood, is could this be a squeaky wheel game for him where he spoke up, he's going to get the ball a lot more?
I mean, my brain says yes, but their play calling says no.
Okay.
Sorry, that Colts defense is good. I'm not picking up. I would not start Hollywood as wide receiver 1 or 2. I think he's a flex at best. Mark Andrews is the
He's a reliable one for him.
Even I have J.K. Dobbins. I'm 50-50 on him right now.
Which is they should be.
I know
Ravens
he's so good
use
at football.
Him better.
Ricky, he is good at football.
God,
I've seen it, and they still don't give him the ball enough.
I think it was a game against Indiana when he was at Ohio State where he blew up, and I was like, I can't wait for this kid to get to the NFL. That's how good he is.
Yeah, he's talented.
Next game, Panthers Chiefs. Chiefs are a 10.5 point favorite. This is the first game, Dave. Thank God the Panthers are playing the Chiefs because I don't have to fall into the trap of picking the Panthers. Chiefs with the win. I don't have to do it.
I agree. This to me is an easy pick. Chiefs win. I think it could be closer than we expect. Just because Teddy
two gloves, man. Yeah.
Teddy gloves makes shit interesting, man. He will air it out if he needs to. But again, when do they make that call? Because for 3/4 of the game last week, it sure as fuck looked like they were just 6 yard out, 7 yard out. We are keeping it underneath. We're playing conservatively. We will just use, the Mike Davis game plan, but we do have the return of Christian McCaffrey. Now, how big of a deal is this? How much of an upgrade from Mike Davis is Christian McCaffrey? That's the question. Do you think Christian pops off in his first game back, makes a statement game against what is arguably the favorite to win it all this year?
He could, but it's almost so. You got to look who's on the other side. Here's the problem I have is he could,
I wanted to ask
and he would. I feel like Christian McCaffrey's going to have a good game, but Patty Mahomes will just outdo him. That's the thing. Where
it will be a duel between Christian McCaffrey and Pat Mahomes. I'm 100%.
I put my money on Mahomes.
Over under 25 fantasy points, Christian McCaffrey.
Over. I think he gets about 27.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think he's about 112% of their offense.
Yeah,
I think this is a welcome back game, and they're going to need a lot of ball movement out there. They're going to give him a lot of leeway. He's going to get a ton of catches, ton of touches. Huge game for CMC.
The next
welcome back. I've been waiting for you for fantasy forever.
The next game, Dave, is interesting. It's Lions-Vikings. If I look on ESPN, they don't even have a line at all, Dave. It is just dashes. They don't have an even. They don't have a favorite. They're like, fuck this game. Who cares about it? I think it also because of the question mark with Matthew Stafford, that they might be holding off on that because he's on the COVID list. We don't know if he is going to play for sure, but like that's a main reason. Like that in itself is a main reason of why I'm going the Vikings, but I'm also going the Vikings because I don't trust the Lions. The Lions are not a good team to me. Everyone who keeps telling me that they are, yes, I can bash Kirk Cousins all I want him off my team. Yeah. I believe the Vikings can do enough to beat the Lions. That is what I'm confident about. May I be wrong? Who knows? Maybe. My team has shit the bed at times this year I didn't think they would. The Vikings wouldn't surprise me if they did, but at least I have the confidence right now on a Friday to think the Vikings can beat the Lions. What do you think?
My pick is entirely dependent on Matthew Stafford starting. If Matthew Stafford does not start this game, I'm just telling you right now, my pick shifts over to the Vikings. Yeah. Prior to game start, I'm going to allow myself that freedom.
I'll let you do what Rich Eisen did on one of the Sunday games where he says if this cornerback plays for the Bills, it's a Bills. If he doesn't, it's a Chiefs. I'll let that stand. If Matthew Stafford plays, your Lions. If he doesn't, your Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, basically he has to clear Saturday and Sunday tests to be able to play. So assuming he passes both of those, I do believe that the Lions will win this game. If not, I can't. I can't. I'm sorry, Chase Daniel. I can't do it, man. I can't do it, buddy. Dalvin Cook coming off of one of the best games of his career.
Former Bear Chase Daniels.
I know. That's why I said buddy. I can't there's a personal relationship that we're good friends.
Yeah.
But Dalvin Cook coming off of one of his best games of his career.
Don't expect it again. Don't expect that again. Like
I was gonna say, like going to this Lions defense, he's
gonna come back down to earth a little. Okay. Like he's good, Dave. He's an RB1.
Don't let Kirk throw the ball. That's my question.
It could be. Who knows? Like fucking Kirk Cousins sucks. I'm not the last person to tell you guys that. Kirk, I used to be one of your biggest fans.
Kirk won't be the last.
Now I'm one of your biggest enemies.
That contract goes for how many more years?
2 or 3. I've given up at this point. I'm gonna start day drinking if I start thinking about it more, Dave.
Welcome to the club.
The next game is, to me, an interesting one in the fact that it's against 2 bad teams, Dave.
Oh, it makes sense.
It's got 2 bad teams.
Ricky. Daniel Jones' record.
Yeah.
And therefore, I mentioned this last week. I dropped this dime on you last week.
Giants, Washington, by the way, but go ahead.
He's undefeated against Washington.
Ooh, good point.
I think his 4 wins in the NFL. 3 of them, he is 3-0 against the Washington football team, and he is 1-0 or 1-1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I totally forgot about that.
He's 3-0 against this Washington team in his career. It's literally the only game he can win, apparently.
Washington is a 2.5-point favorite.
And understandably so. They looked like... actually, I don't get that.
They played Dallas.
They played Dallas, but look what Danny Dimes did against the Bucs. Mm-hmm. They were playing an elite team, perhaps the favorites out of the NFC this year. And he put it up there to the point where a ref literally cost them the game on a bullshit call that should have been pass interference. Everyone who was watching, we all know it, we all saw it, but the refs want to make sure Tom Brady gets his hand held all the way to the playoffs. So we got to play the game. Daniel Jones, that's why I'm going with him this game. He beats the Washington football team convincingly. This, to me, is a no-brainer.
I don't know if you can say convincingly, and I'm almost
being an asshole right now.
I'm almost flip-flopping because they played each other, Dave, this season. It was a 20-19 game. That's how razor thin it was.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This is going to be like, this is a time where sometimes in your pick'em future, Dave, you got to put up or shut up. You got to take a chance, but especially when you're behind in the picks and you got to gain. This is one.
Walk away.
I'm taking my shot, Dave. The Washington football team get the win over Danny Dimes. They end his perfect record. They end it, Dave. They put a kibosh to it. Maybe the NFL helps them out. They say Danny Dimes can't be undefeated against anybody, Dave. He can't be undefeated against anybody.
He has 4 wins to his career, and 3 are against Washington. You have to understand that that's just a sign. Like he owns them like we own you. Yeah. Like the Bears own the Vikings. That's the rules. The Vikings, unfortunately,
especially on Monday nights,
do not play up against the Bears. It's like how the Green Bay Packers just dumpster the Bears year in, year out. We understand. That's the rules.
Like, if it's a Monday night game in Chicago and the Vikings are coming to town, it's going to be a bad time for anyone wearing purple. I've just accepted it. And what does the NFL usually do? That game against the Vikings and the Bears in Chicago? Let's put it on Monday night. Like, come on, man. Give me a non-Monday night game in Chicago.
That's what the nation watch.
But the next game, Dave, Houston-Jacksonville. Minshew is out of this one with that thumb injury that I had mentioned. So Minshew's out. I think Lutton is the quarterback that is going to be starting for them. Google that name. Texans are.
That's why I just picked the Texans.
Texans are a 7-point favorite.
After you mentioned Minshew's thumb injury to me earlier this week and mentioned that he had been having that problem for a while now, I was like, I looked at the roster. I went back of quarterbacks. I don't know you. I can't pick you. I can't do it. The Jags could win this game because the Jags are an enigma, but they're also a bad team at the same time. So I think the Texans have enough firepower to win. They have talent on that roster. Are they well coached? No. That is why they're failing. That's why they're a bad team this year. So Texans win, but it's like a begrudgingly, I guess if they don't win this game, I don't know who else you can fire. That's my problem. You kept all your talent. You didn't flip Will Fuller for a 3rd rounder because you wanted a 2nd rounder. It's on you.
Yeah, and I mean with the Texans, Eric brings up a good point. He says Texans just win as much as they can, so Miami does not get a decent draft pick. They're not even playing for their own pick, so the Texans can't tank.
Big true.
Just win as many games as possible. Dave, the next one, this was another game, much like Ravens-Colts.
Could not.
I didn't know what to do. Even Vegas doesn't know what to do. They have an even. Money lines both at -110. They're like, don't bet on this one. You're not going to make any money. Yep. Raiders-Chargers, in the end, what did it for me is both of these teams have played very well. Both of these teams have also played very well and lost games.
Yes.
But I'm sorry. I'm joining the fan. I love Derek Carr. Carr. He's been my fantasy quarterback at time. But I'm getting on the bandwagon, Dave. It's Air Bear time. Chargers with the win. Let's go, Air Bear.
Hell yeah, Air Bear is the future. He will be the rookie of the year. He is the man, and I love what he does out there. But I will take the Raiders in this matchup.
Oh, double not so fast in me.
Double not so fast, Ricky. Chargers lost how many games that they've led? 3 out of the last.
Almost all of them, I would say. And that's just me not even looking into it. I just mostly all of them.
They lose all their games. No, but the 3 out of the last 4, they've
you lose all the games you don't win, Dave. That's
they've lost the game. It's just I look at this Raiders team and I'm like, you are good enough to beat the best team in football.
Yeah,
you should be good enough to beat a Chargers team that, they are amazing to watch. And Keenan Allen takes a fucking beating out there.
Yeah.
But he just keeps getting up. Mad respect for Keenan Allen, by the way. I can't. I think this one will be kind of like a showdown kind of style. I think this one will be like a 27-35, a 35-30 kind of a game. It'll be close. It'll be fun. And I expect both teams to have really good performances. But something about me is telling me Raiders, and maybe it's because of the fact that I've been on the Air Bear bandwagon since day one.
Okay.
But that team's not complete right now. Yeah. The Chargers still have a lot of building to do, and while I love them and I love some of the pieces on the team, I think the Raiders are just a better team right now.
I think this is the one game where it's like, well, I'd expect Ricky to pick the Raiders and Dave to pick the Chargers, and we're like, nope, double not so fast. We're gonna take each other's teams in this one. We're going to take the other team that we like. Dave, the next game, do we even have to talk about? Steelers, Cowboys? It's a 14.5 point line in favor of the Steelers. What if the Cowboys do end the undefeated streak?
Cooper Cooper's playing QB, right?
Cooper Rush, baby.
Cooper Rush at QB.
The fourth quarterback to start a game for Dallas this year. And they
Good
don't
fucking
own the
luck,
number
buddy.
one pick.
Good luck. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Steelers.
Steelers.
Easy, it's
like,
done.
Steelers. Moving on. Another game that this week is filled of, I don't know who to pick. Throw a dart at the wall.
This could easily be like an 8-6 week for me.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid of that.
This was a game for me, Dave. Dolphins, Cardinals. Cardinals are a 4.5-point favorite. It's one of those where it's like, my heart is telling me Tua, but my mind is telling me the Cardinals. And I got to go with the Cardinals. I'm going with my mind, Dave, not going with the heart. I want Tua to win, but it's going to be the Cardinals.
I agree. I'm all in on the Cardinals. This matchup is disgustingly strong that Dolphins defense was last week, where they just shut down any hope. I don't think they can do that to this Cardinals team. Even if Kyler Murray is expected to make mistakes, I think Kyler Murray, he could have another 2-pick game, or he could have a pick and a fumble this game. But that Cardinals offense just flows. They have the movement out there. They got it going, and I gotta roll with the Cards in this matchup.
Yeah, and then the last two, Dave, Sunday night, Saints Bucks. This is one where the Bucks are also a 4.5-point favorite. How I look at this one is, so it's like I said at the beginning of the year, they are going to split. Saints won the one in New Orleans to start the year, coming into Tampa Bay, coming into TB12 country. Bucks are getting the win. Antonio Brown might have a good game this one. Bucks over the Saints. Got to go with them.
I'm with you. I think that it's a rematch. It's a situation where Tom Brady doesn't like to lose twice, and Tom Brady's team has been, like I said earlier, I think they have the best points differential through the season this year. They are the best team in football by a lot of people's minds, and they've just added Antonio Brown to that offense. So, with everything going down in the Saints, I can't pick them. There's issues there. I wish we knew what the fuck was happening with Mike Thomas. That's my question. Like, what?
Right?
Where is Ja? You know?
Yeah, like that's one where I think he might be playing this week. Is the last thing we heard about it, but who knows? Like they could say he's playing, and then no, the injury's still there. Like
injury.
The last game though, Dave, Patriots Jets. Patriots are an 8-point favorite. I almost wanted to pick the Jets in this one. But then I remembered if they win, they can't get Trevor Lawrence, so that's why I picked the Patriots. I almost wanted to pick the Jets, Dave, because I'm like, you know what? I've picked the Patriots. They haven't been good the last few games. Like, the Jets played good against the Bills. Maybe they play up for this one. And then I was like, oh, wait, but the Jets are the Jets.
Patriots are the Jets. That is the rules. Patriots can run the ball. Mm-hmm. So that's I literally picked the Patriots because they can run the ball. That's 110% my line of thought. Is as bad as the Patriots are, the Jets are still the Jets. Last time I checked.
Yeah. And also, did you hear about Joe Namath's comments about Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence could force a trade, Dave, if he is picked by the Jets. We're going to talk about that as a topic. I know that we've beaten that like a dead horse. But yet again, another fucking person who's not even in on the Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to give my thoughts.
How drunk was he when he said it?
I don't know. I read an article. I read the ESPN article.
I'm pretty sure if you gave him a blood alcohol test, he would not be allowed to drive.
Yeah.
So that's Joe Namath, though. I mean, that's your famous football great, New York.
Yeah, I saw that, and it made me laugh.
Just belligerent drunk man who tried to touch a woman on national television.
Yeah, that was bad.
There you go. There's really your heroes. That
Dave,
was real awkward, by the way.
It was very awkward when watching it live. I was like, holy shit, what did he do? Dave, we got a question to end the show. It comes from Jair, who says, who should I start out of Bell, Jonathan Taylor, and Preston Williams? I'm going with JT. Start Jonathan Taylor. Le'Veon Bell this week against Carolina might be a little bit of a bad matchup. I don't think Preston Williams does anything great against the Cardinals. I would go with Jonathan Taylor.
I am on the side of Le'Veon Bell, actually.
Okay.
I like Lev Bell. I think week one of his introduction course to being a Chief went relatively well. I expect to see him continue to grow. And I think Carolina, I mean, while they're a good team, they should have plenty of offense out there. So I do expect. Again, to clarify, are you full point PPR? Are you half point PPR?
Good point.
What's the situation going on there, man? I will hold and wait because I know there's just a minor delay to Twitch.
Good point.
But my thought process is I stay away from Preston. He's had too many. Like I think I had heard he dropped the ball quite a bit. Lots of drops. Well, he was targeted enough times, but like he had some drop issues. But yeah, I would lean towards Lev Bell. Full PPR.
So that's
does that change your answer, Ricky?
No, I like for me. It's
you still like Jonathan Taylor.
So
no, that's fine. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer.
Yeah,
right now.
both of the guys have the same question though. They both have the same question. Are out of their touches, are they going to be able to do the most with them? Because Taylor's got Hines, who's also going to be fighting touches. Bell's got Allaire. He's got the fresh Prince of Allaire. That's going to be getting touches obviously above him to where I don't think, like you said, I don't think there's a clear answer. I personally like Jonathan Taylor because I think he's due for a bounce back week. Plus,
don't they have a third back too who gets touches in Indy?
I think you're right. They do. I'd have to look up.
That was my concern. Like, I'm like the Chiefs are too deep, and yeah, Jonathan Taylor is definitely what they're trying to get moving. But like it does seem like they are splitting a lot of carries back there.
Full PPR and also gets a quarter of a point for first downs.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Lev Bell.
Okay.
I'll play it safe just because I think he gets more touches. Jonathan Taylor could be due for a pop-off game, though. And that Colts matchup would be interesting. Colts Ravens, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
interesting. But I just like that. I like the idea of the Carolina Panthers defense and Lev Bell going out there. Another week under his playbook. He knows what he's doing. He's confident. You know, he's a pro.
ESPN had so DJ Davis that we were asked about earlier. I just looked on ESPN because I was looking up trying to find that last name for you. They expect him to have 11 points in fantasy this week.
Wow.
So does that mean Carlos Hyde ain't playing either? Did I miss something there?
You should look that up.
Let's see. I thought we had an update. You're talking about Mac is out, but they also have Jordan Wilkins.
Yeah, because he had a really good game a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Last week. He had 18 fantasy points last week where he had 89 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's my concern. Jonathan Taylor has been getting stuffed. He is going – I said the name last week, Ricky.
Yeah.
Trent Richardson.
No, I don't think it's there. But like the thing with Bell and Taylor that I will say is not one makes me more excited than the other. It's a gut call. Like it's basically a gut call. I even looked up like Chase Edmonds to see if he was like low in leagues. He's about 90% in leagues, so you're not going to get him. Like he is one that I would definitely start because Kenyon Drake is out this week and he's going to cash in against Miami. But any final thoughts, Dave, before we wrap this one up?
I think we nailed it. At least we knocked off Preston Williams for you.
Yeah.
And watch, Preston Williams will now get 22 points for you.
Usually that happens. Usually that's how it goes.
I lean running back much more often. So that's just it feels like a safer play. But yeah, that was a good show. Good questions.
Loved it. This is where you guys come in, or this is where I tell you about shit at the end of the show. Discord, join the best community on the internet. I had to think about it in my head. So those of you who aren't in it, !Discord gets it into Twitch chat, or you join the link down below on YouTube. It is literally, we're always talking patrons, non-patrons. Soapy, Dave, and I are always in there. Great conversations. Can ask fantasy questions and bounce them off everyone, not just Dave and I. Also, if you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids is one way you can. Thank you to Pat Hill and Philly Sean, our Patreon sponsors. You can also throw us a sub on Twitch where we're live every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVPvids, but we are also on YouTube at MVP Sports as well. Dave and I are basically a house divided this week, going in 2 for 2s for fantasy, so we'll let you know how that goes this weekend. I wish you guys all the luck in your fantasy games. Dave and I will be back Monday for a great show, recapping the football games and giving you more topics about sports that you love watching in your everyday lives. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for watching, listening, and as always, have a good day, everybody.
Bye.